in the Snobs podcast.
Welcome, everybody. It is Friday night at 8 p.m., and it is time for the Snobs podcast, and you're here, and I appreciate you. I love you all. You're amazing, and you just saw a trailer for a brand new film festival. Actually, there's two different locations at this film festival on September 26th and 27th for Delco Horror Haven Film Festival. It's actually an invasion, and you better be ready for it. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that more. And I cannot wait. We have two wonderful women who have been on the show before, Karen and Lisa, who run Delco Horror Haven, and I cannot wait to talk to them about it. Thank you guys so much for joining in, hanging out with us, having a good old time. It's Friday. I hope your weeks are going well. I hope you're done with work. Kick back, enjoy a beer, have some laughs, enjoy what we talk about tonight because it's going to be a really good time. And just take care of yourselves. It's always important. Talk about that often. But I do have a special announcement to make. It's kind of a heavy one, and it was just announced today. Unfortunately, Carolina Fear Fest, who you guys know we were the media partners for, and we've been there every year since 2021, is not coming back in 2026. Now, they have put out an official statement. I've talked to them. There's a lot up in the air right now. So I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I don't want to say it will never be back. The idea of possibly maybe just taking a year off or a hiatus, it's just one of those things that it's kind of all up in the air. So I will never speak on definitively what's going on with Carolina Fear Fest. But what I can say is that they have a hiatus next year, at least. Maybe it's done. This is not an easy decision. The wonderful people who run it, they're like my family. I work on this all year round, and we have a really good time with it. And there's some really fantastic people whom I don't think I could ever forget. That's how it's just always every year, we're talking, we're having a good time. They really are like family members, like my horror family. And this is heartbreaking. I may not seem that way while I do a show at the moment, but this is pretty heartbreaking and sad. And I just wanted to make the announcement. I don't want to put out too much information. If you have any questions or anything, you can, of course, reach out to me or reach out to Carolina Fear Fest. They'll answer them for you. They're still there. They're still amazing. I hope we can still keep doing horror conversations, and we can still keep doing the YouTube channel, just so that way, if it does come back, we keep it strong. But so always keep an eye out for that. I will still be posting stuff, so make sure that you are subscribed over there, because then that way, if you're following, there's going to be content, and you will stay in the know of when it comes back, if it comes back. The reasons for this is a lot of different events and things like that are seeing a decline, it's just the economy right now. It's just crazy. That's not any type of statement towards it or anything like that, but that's what was the driving force behind this. It's too much unsurety in the field right now. So unfortunately, they had to end it. Hopefully it's a hiatus, like I said, but unfortunately it just had to go away. It's heartbreaking, it's sad, and I just wanted to let you guys know that as we kind of kick things off. We're going to start the show now, but again, if you have any questions, please let us know, and I completely understand the sadness that you feel along with this. But let's get started, guys. We have some very interesting movies to talk about tonight. Let's start with our first review, Pools. This stars Odessa Zion. It was directed by Sam Hayes. This was his first feature film. It's an indie film. This is about Odessa Zion's character. Her father passed away a year before. She has not been doing well at school. She's on the brink of getting kicked out. She's just not going to classes, kind of pushing through life, in all of her grief and such, and not getting any help or anything. Well, this is sort of like a 24-hour day in the life of her having to get her stuff together at this point, and all she wants to do is swim. So her and her friends decide to go out for one last let's get drunk and just jump in rich people's pools at night while they're not home or they're not paying attention, until they stumble upon a house that no one's there. So they decide to take it over, and she thinks she just wants to live her life there. It's a very interesting movie. This movie is very vibrant, first of all. I want to say the cinematography in this, it's bright, it's colorful. Reminds me very much of like a Wes Anderson film. And then also in the tone in the beginning, in the first half of the movie, I would say, has a very quirky Wes Anderson sort of vibe to it. Then it sort of turns into more of that coming of age. I would actually equate it more in tone to something like Garden State. So it's very disjointed in sort of how it takes on the message it's trying, or the theme it's trying to push, because you go from this very vibrant setting in this college where it's very quirky, of all these quirky cast of characters sort of coming together. And then you get to the back half and it's very dramatic, and it gets into her grief and her life and what's going on and like what she wants to do with the rest of her life and things like that. It is a good movie. It's a well-written movie. It just has certain uneven plot points in it that I just kind of took me out of it a little bit. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. I think that's a fair rating for a movie that really, when it comes down to it, like, it's interesting to watch. I do think people should check out, but it's not super memorable. Like, again, those movies I'm pulling from, the Wes Anderson films, Garden State, things like that, those are memorable films that really stand out. The performances, the story, the cinematography, the quirkiness of the comedy in it. All of this tried to do that, but it did not land fully, in my opinion. I did like the characters. I'd like to see all the actors go off and do bigger things, because they all did a fantastic job in this. But overall, this movie, sort of a miss for me in a bit of a way. Like, I was really looking forward to it when I got the screener for this, but it just, when it finally came down to watching it, like, it just didn't land fully. It is a good film. It is a good film in the sense. I'm sorry about that. That it does pull out emotions. It deals with grief really well in this, but it just doesn't add to the story that well. Like, by the time you get to that point, you feel like you've been on another journey, and then you get there, and it's like, I don't mind dealing with this because I know she's going through it. But why now? Like, we were already dealing with something else. So disjointed in that way. Although, like I said, 2.5 out of 5, that's not bad. Middle of the road, go check it out. Maybe on streaming, I would probably recommend when it comes out. But it is brand new and it's out now. Now, for our next review, thank you for watching that one. The Long Walk. This one is as an interesting tale for me. So I read this book. It's a Richard Bachman book, of course, Stephen King. Like, it's being pushed forward that this is a Stephen King novel. And over time, because his name is so huge, I think that replaced a lot of the Richard Bachman books, which was his pen name back in the day. But this is one that came out in 1979. He started he wrote this one in to connect with his audience about his feelings about Vietnam and the young men that were going overseas and how they were coming back, but also what we were doing, to these young men. And like, in this movie conveys this so well. When I read that book when I was a junior, I was sort of on a Stephen King kick where I was trying to read all of his obscure stuff, especially his Bachman's and things like that. And this was one that just really stuck with me after watching it. This 1999, maybe. I read this book, and then after 9/11, and we go to war and things like that, it really started to resonate with me. The book sort of always stayed in my head. It is that brutal of a book, and this movie does it justice. It is a brutal movie with a lot of devastating, heart-wrenching moments in it. And the thing I love about this movie compared to the book is that this book is different. Like, you can watch and read this, and you're going to get a different experience from both, but they both drive home the same points. And that is, like, after my friends, my brothers, my cousins, things like that were all coming home from the war, they were coming home different. I can't explain it. I don't understand it fully, but they were coming home different. And this movie conveys that really well. I saw that while I was watching it, and that just floored me. This movie had me in tears. It's so well acted. David Johansen is the lead star in this. He plays McVrees, who's also, all the characters in this movie are characters from the book with the same name. So having read that and they started introducing themselves in the movie, I was like, oh, wow, okay, cool. Like, again, like, this is a book that sticks with you. You're going to remember these characters because they go through hell in this. And as a reader, and now as a viewer in the movie, you're an observer. That's the beauty of the book. Like, Stephen King is writing as an observer of the Vietnam War. the themes and the things that he's pulling from. This movie is the same way. So it has this 1963 sort of maybe other dimension type of vibe in a different world feel, where the world is just desolate and there's no work anywhere. There's no entertainment. Things are not what they used to be. So the long walk is how they entertain their people. They keep them they give them something to strive for and believe in. And that is seen in this movie in a very dark way. Mark Hamill plays the major in the film, who is the one that's sort of leading this front. He takes all these 50 kids from these 50 different states, and they just walk. They start until the last one keeps going. You're watching them go through all of this. If they fall to a certain miles per hour, they're supposed to keep it at 3. But if they fall below that, they get warnings. You get 3 warnings. After that, you get a bullet. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that like glorifying it. It's hard to watch. They're not children, they're young men who are military age, but does that make it better when you see all these kids going through this? Like, it's hard. And the thing I love about it is the way it was shot. You always have this darkness, even during the light times. And there are light times. One of my favorite parts of this is the main actor in this is Cooper Hoffman. That's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. He plays Garrity. Now, if you know the book, you know who Garrity is, and he's the main sort of character. And Mick Vries, who is David Johansen's character, he is sort of his best friend in the film. Like they sort of form this bond that we're going to work together. And that's the beauty about all of them. All of them are there, and they act as almost a platoon. They're keeping each other up during the nights when one's falling asleep and falling behind on his miles per hour and such. They're keeping each other going. Unfortunately, you can't do that. This never ends until the last one standing. So you're going to see people go. And as they're going, you are feeling it. You're seeing it. You observe it all. Everything you need to see. It stays on these boys. Mark Hamill comes in every once in a while. Definitely lays down some dialogue that makes you want to punch him. But that's the beautiful acting from Mark Hamill. This whole movie, everyone connected really well. Ben Wang plays Hank in this. Olsen, who you really learn to love him, and Ben Wang is from the new Karate Kid that just came out, Karate Kid Legends, and I thought he did a great job in this. But this movie, all of them, the chemistry, they're playing off of each other. Even when you kind of have the jerk characters of like Barkowitz, who is Charlie Plummer's character. He's a jerk, but you can tell like there's sympathy there for that character. He plays it well. He doesn't want to be a jerk. That's how he socially interacts with people. And even the guys who are doing it, they don't hate him. They're like, we understand, we get it. And they want to be there for him. It drives them nuts at times because of the stress and frustration, but it really kicks through and it really kicks you in the head and really keeps you going. Like this whole story, like you are invested in every one of these characters, and you are heartbroken when every one of these characters ultimately doesn't make it to the end. Now they do change. I'm not going to spoil this, but they do change the end of the book. So there are certain characters that get to a certain point. There are other characters who don't get to that point. You may remember from the book. But I think you will appreciate this ending. In fact, I think this ending made it more contemporary based on the 79 book. Like I got it when it came down to it and what that ending was. But this ending talks very much to today's world and what we're going through. And I really appreciated that. I thought it was a good way to kind of like spice up that ending for a movie, so people who read the book, like they might like it a little bit more. Truly phenomenal film, shot well. Again, 4 out of 5 for me. The sound even really just hits you when they play it, like every aspect of it. You hear the gunshots, like you might not see them. You got 50 kids, you're focusing on like 6 or 7 of them. But when you do see it, or when you hear it, like you're jumping like they are, like it's making you feel it for real. And it hurts, like, because you can't help them as an observer, but you want to jump in. That is really well done filmmaking to make you so involved and so invested into a film that you want to jump in and help them if you can. I love that. This was directed by, his name is now getting away from me, Francis Lawrence. He directed movies like Red Sparrow, The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Catching Fire. He did Constantine. Most recently, he did Strange Darlings, which I know people were sort of like divided on that. I really liked it. I thought it was a different type of movie that kind of went to a different place, but I can definitely see all of his talents in these movies. So I absolutely say, if you are looking for something, now this is again a devastatingly gut-wrenching film. It is brutal. And the reason I say that is because especially as Americans, it speaks to Americans and like all of the military, and we all know somebody, at least somebody who served in the military. And it really speaks to the culture of the military, but if it was used in a different way. And I really appreciated that. So this is a movie I say, if you are really up for it, it is a horror movie, of course, but I'm not going to like label it as like, oh, if you're in the mood for a horror movie, go see it. I'm saying if you're in the mood for a movie that will make you feel something, go see this movie in the theaters. It will make you feel something. And I think that's an important aspect of filmmaking as well. So that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5. Some of the things in it like, not that it dragged or anything. It wasn't one of those things where I thought the story had low points, but some of the things in it did seem like they were trying to stretch it for time. And it didn't throw the pacing of the film off, but it threw the moments off, if that makes sense. So I deducted a point on that, but phenomenal film. Fantastic job. And I really appreciated this and liked it very much. So we're going to get started. But before we do, guys, remember, Lustron. They are a wonderful, wonderful shades, curtains. They do all custom stuff. So Lustron makes custom window curtains and shades, easy to design and install. Tailored for your style. Their high quality options enhance any room with elegance and function. We have a link down below in our description. It's always there. We appreciate them being on the show and supporting the show and things like that. But check out some of these pictures. Like, again, these are all from their site. These are beautiful custom shades and curtains and such. And if you're looking for it, listen, go get it because it's fantastic. They do such great work. I mean, listen, nobody sees me when I'm walking around my house naked. So they do great work. All right, everybody. We have some very special guests tonight. We were talking a little bit about Delco Horror Haven, and we're going to be talking about, of course, let me show you the logo because that is a cool logo. I always like a good haunted house, and that is a sick one. But we're here to talk about Delco Horror Haven Invasion. It's going to be at 2 locations, Saturday, September 27th and Sunday, September 28th. I have 2 wonderful women, Karen and Lisa, are here to discuss it, and we're going to get into it. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them out in the comments and let's talk about it. Let's bring them in. Karen and Lisa, welcome, everybody. How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
I'm glad you guys are back. You've been on the show before, and now you're back now, and we're talking some horror, which is always fun for me. So before we get started, though, I want us to start with our top 5 countdowns. That's right. Horror movie short films.
I had to do research.
I love it. I love it.
I had to think about it.
I figured it fits within, and I would be interested to see what some of your choices are running a film festival and having run film festivals for a while, So let's get started with number 5, shall we? All right. I'm going to kick this off. Lisa, why don't you kick us off at number 5 on this one?
Let's see.
What is your number 5?
So I have, it's called Swipe, and the filmmaker is Niels Burgoyne. He's from Belgium, and his shorts are awesome. Swipe is so scary, especially if you're single, dating, anything like that, using the dating apps. That's what it is. It's a stalker short film that just grabs you. I expect to see really great things from him continuing on, and I'm excited to see it when he finally makes a feature because it's going to be awesome.
I love that. All right. I'm going to check that out. Swipe. How about you, Karen? What's your number 5?
I didn't put them in numbers, but one of them that I picked, and I went back a few years. This is from 2022. It's called Closing Time, and it's animated. I couldn't find how long it was, but I think it might have been about 10-ish or so minutes. The filmmakers were Hector Perez Aguilar, Ryan Williams, and Samuel Johnson. And I have really short synopses for each of these films. So basically, it's about an obnoxious truck driver, and he is very obnoxious. He's one of those guys, when he goes into this late night stop, he wants to just stay and pick out whatever he wants, even though it's way past closing time, and he thinks he could do whatever he wants. So basically, he's in the middle of nowhere at a gas station. He stays past the closing time, being obnoxious, and then he learns that that was not a wise choice. So all this craziness ensues. But I love a good animated horror film, and this is kind of horror comedy because it's really funny. But the colors, from what I remember, because it's been a while, were really vibrant, and that was one of the things that stood out for me.
I love it. Awesome. Great choices. My number 5 is called Don't Move. It's about a bunch of friends playing a Ouija board, but there's a demon there watching them.
Ooh.
And if they move, they're going to die.
Oh, I'm writing these down.
I'll leave that one. I think everybody should check that one out. And I did get with some of my friends who also review movies to help me put together my list. Because I have a few that are from personal experience, but I had to get a couple more added in there, and I wanted the best. Well, number 4. Let's start with you, Karen. What's your number 4?
Oh, well, I will go with, it's called Cutter, Cutter. Again, this is back from 2022. The filmmaker is called the filmmakers are Dan Rep and Lindsay Young. This is one of those films, if you have to do a trigger warning, I would say you would need a trigger warning for this particular one. It's a teenage girl who is a cutter, and she's in recovery, and she has a really overbearing mother, but she's haunted by a ghost. And so the visual effects of this movie were, we don't get a whole lot of graphic visuals, but this one here was pretty graphic. And I think because it felt so real, we may or may not know people that cut themselves, but it is very much a problem. And so that was one that stuck with me also.
I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check them all out. I'm going to have a little horror fest tonight. Lisa, how about you? What's your number 4?
So my number 4 is Howl If You Love Me. It's by John Dilworth, who created Courage the Cowardly Dog. And it, like Karen was talking about, horror animation, we don't get a lot of it, and it's really fun when we do. And it's even better when it actually becomes the best of the fest. So this is the one that won our festival last year. And it's a love story, and it's a werewolf story. And if you get a chance to check it out, I know it was in a lot of the film festivals. It's really a fun one. It was very cool. At the end of the film festival, when the credits were rolling, somebody stood up. It was like in Little Miss Sunshine. They stood up in the middle of the room and they yelled, "Yes, I knew it!"
Awesome.
Because they were familiar with the cartoons and everything. So that was a really good feeling.
I love that. That's fantastic. My number 4, I went with it's pretty popular when they made a feature out of it, but it wasn't as good. Lights Out.
Oh.
I will always, that one always gets me. That's the one where she flicks the light on and off, and every time she flicks it off, the person's standing there, and then it gets closer and closer.
Yeah.
Plays to my anxieties. All right, let's go number 3. All right. All right, Lisa, let's go back. What's your number 3?
Oh, okay. So my number 3, it's called Lizzie, and it's directed by Jack Foley, and it's Brownstone Films. So it stars a girl. Her name's Lexi Hannon, and her name is Lizzie, and her name is Lizzie Borden. And so it has a really good twist. Grifters come to the house, and they're going to steal from them, her and her mom, and that's a big mistake. And Lexi Hannon is fantastic in this. I can't wait to see what she does, as she gets older and grows as an actor, because she was really good in it.
I'm into it. I love that. All right. Karen, how about you?
So this one is a little bit newer. It's from 2024. It's called Grampy. 14 minutes long. It's from Graham Burrell. this again is kind of a horror comedy, and a little quick synopsis. It's a grief-stricken woman is dating a similarly mourning man, only to discover that he keeps the stuffed corpse of his late grandfather, taxidermy style, in the bedroom of his remote farmhouse, where she's now trapped by a storm and forced to spend one terrifying night with him. So, again, it was a first date, I believe, and she's in this desolate area in a farmhouse and comes across, Grampy. So again, quite funny. I love a good comedy horror. So I would say that's a fun one.
I love it. All right. So mine is called Playtime. I'm not going to give too many details, but I'm going to say if you get scared very easily, it may be one you're not up for.
Oh.
So, I'm doing that as sort of a challenge, not just to you guys, maybe watching and listening. Like, you might want to check it out if you're really in the heart. It genuinely got me. All right, perfect. I love it. That was number 3. What's your number 2? We'll start with Karen this time.
Oh, okay. So I think I'll go with Nun with a Chainsaw. And it's exactly that. It's a Nun with a Chainsaw. It was from 2022. Robert Getty was the filmmaker. I don't even think this was 5 minutes long. I think it was like 2-3 minutes. It was really short, but man, it packed a punch. It was a lot of fun. Again, a nun, a knock at the door, and that's all she wrote.
The rest is gas-powered
history.
Right. I love it. All right, Lisa, what's yours?
So mine is I'm on a werewolf kick tonight. So it's called Scratch, and it's by Michael Trinati, and it stars a real life father and son, and they're playing a father and son, and they're on a guy's camping trip, and they have really good chemistry, as you could expect, and then they hear something in the woods, and they're stuck in their RV, and it goes a little crazy from there. It's really well done. He's another one like Niels. He's one to watch. His films are really good.
I will definitely check that out. That sounds awesome. All right, my number 2 is There Are Monsters. It's I like this one because it was more of a mystery, and it's about a couple waiting for like relatives to come over, and they start seeing people with like really big smiles on their face. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But if you guys get a chance, check it out. There's some good mystery to it, and I don't want to give anything away. I think you really enjoy it. All right, there you go. So let's finish off with our number 1s. And I forget who went first last time. Lisa, why don't you finish us off the first up with your choice?
So I went kind of mainstream, and I went with All Hallows Eve by Damien Leone. So the first one that introduces Art the Clown, it was 3 shorts, and they all tie together. And if you've seen it, it's like you were talking about it's kind of devastating at the end. Babysitters, something in the house. It's always that, is there somebody in the other room, and what can I do? So that's the one I went with.
I like it. All right. And I've seen that one, so I know. I like that one.
I think we've all seen that one.
How about you, Karen? What's yours?
So again, I didn't really rank these 1 to 5, but this one here was one that it's called Brother Troll. It's from 2021. It's a longer short. It's 30 minutes, so it's pretty long. And I'm probably going to butcher the filmmaker's name. It's Gudmund Helmsdahl. And I have to say that this was one of the ones we thought it was beautifully shot. Like it is very professional. It's beautiful. But we weren't really sure if it was horror. We weren't sure if we should put it into the festival. Well, I'm so glad we did, because it played so well. We had so many people at the end of the fest saying that they loved that film. So what it's about, again, a little short synopses. Once upon a time in the Faroe Islands. So again, you get to see this beautiful cinematography of the Faroe Islands, which when do you ever get to see that, really, especially in a short? And it's about two lone brothers struggling to save the family farm and the relationship after the sudden loss of their older brother. So I will just say one brother is very virtuous, religious, hardworking, and the other brother is, an alcoholic and doesn't want to do anything and really kind of busts his stones all the time. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of sad. But it's bittersweet at the end, I would say.
All right.
Yeah.
I like this. All right. Getting deep with it on that one. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Number one for me, it's a tough one. It's one that will make you think, and it is one is dark. It's called The Kid in the Camera. It's a claymation. It's about a little boy.
I love claymation.
Yeah, so it's very effective horror, but it is not lighthearted. So like it comes off lighthearted because it's about a little boy who has this camera that he loves. It's his favorite thing on the planet, and he breaks it one night accidentally, and a dragon comes up to his window at night and says, "I can fix it. You just have to come to my magical wonderland and come to my workshop." And then they go on their claymation journey, and it ends.
Sadly.
It ends pretty, yeah. So, but it's effective. Like I was saying, again, like we were talking about The Long Walk and other movies and stuff. It's one that sticks with you, and I can appreciate any movie that does that. So, all right, I like our choices. Thank you for helping me with my top 5
well
this week.
done.
Guys, all right, so let's get talking about Delco Horror Haven. First and foremost, tell me all about it. What are you guys doing lately with Delco Horror Haven? What's been going on?
We're not doing anything.
I'm tired.
I don't believe you.
We're doing a lot. Go ahead, Karen.
Oh, okay. I'll start it off. Well, we are Delco Horror Haven. We just started last year, January 2024. So we're almost at our second year. We're really excited because one of the things that we were trying to do this year was to get our 501c3. So we just found out that we are now officially a 501c3 nonprofit horror arts organization. So that's really cool. And basically, in a nutshell, what we do are, our missions to support independent filmmakers, authors, artisans, and the community. And we do that by doing a variety of events throughout the year. So we're not just one of these, spooky season, it's September, October, let's do a little something. We do this stuff all year long. And we love it. I mean, it's a lot of work, but we love it. So that's kind of like a big picture of what we are, what we do. But as we're talking today about the event coming up, that is something that's really our biggest event of the year. It's 2 full days. Sunday is the film festival, which we're super excited about. We have over 5.5 hours of films. Hopefully we'll have a lot of filmmakers attending. It seems like we're going to have quite a few. And we're very excited. This is the first time we've had special guests at the film festival. So we're going to have Michelle Santiago and Mark Haynes at the film festival.
Very cool.
Yeah. So,
how many? So with the film festival, that's at the Media Community Center on the
Media Townhouse.
Media Townhouse. Okay.
Yeah.
How many have you cultivated into this film festival? How many movies would you say?
I think there's 28.
Yeah, I think 28.
I think we have about 28 short films.
When you're planning that out, how do you come to that conclusion of, I know choosing is on a rating system and such most times.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you use Film Freeway for the most part?
Do. And we do have a rubric that we jury all the films on.
Nice. Yeah, it's a great tool. Like I'm on the judging panel for a few, and it's so nice and easy to be able to go right in and do it. But and you get the submissions that way too. So when that happens and you get these submissions, how many do you normally see kind of come in when you announce?
You mean total?
Yeah, like total altogether, and that you're working
this year, like maybe 55 we've received.
Yeah, I think we had about 55.
Yeah,
that came through.
And then you settle on 28 coming in. Is that a timing thing, or is that
timing?
Yeah.
It's strictly timing, and that's the difficult part. You know, when you, as you know, when you look at that, you have all the ones that have the high scores. You already know they're going to get in. You have the ones that have the really low scores. You know they're not going to get in. And then you have that little section, that little purgatory section. We have to figure out who's going to stay, who's going to go, and then that's when we have to count the minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So now with something like this, when you're showing it, what can everyone, all the audience that are coming, expect to see that Saturday before we get into the Sunday event on the 27th? What the film festival?
Talk about that one.
What can they expect to see there?
Oh, on Saturday, so we're going to have, I think we have about 28 vendors, and it's all different. We have everything from candles to leather goods, taxidermy, pillows. So we have a little bit of everything. Everything is handcrafted. I think we have one rare bookseller who is going to be there, and we have a couple. We have a few authors. We have some filmmakers who are going to be there, and then we also have a special guest. So we have Brian Anthony Wilson, who's going to be joining us on Saturday, which I'm very excited about because I was a huge fan of The Wire. So to be able to have him at our signature event is really exciting for me. And also, he's been in a few of our short films. Mm-hmm. So to see him on the screen and then to hang out with him is going to be really fun. Nice. It's an all-day event. It starts at noon. It'll go till about 6:30. And we'll have a food truck there. It's called Calaveras Tacos. They'll be there. They were our food truck last year, and they're fantastic. The food's really good.
I'm in it. Let's do this. I'm all about tacos. Let's do this. I want 10 of them now.
Yes.
Or you got ice cream, because we have that too.
Yes, we're going to have a signature ice cream for the day from a local place called Scooped. And it's funny when you go, media does a thing. It's called Dining Under the Stars. And on Wednesday nights, the line for Scooped is around the building. So awesome. They're going to be there for us. They're going to make a flavor for us.
Do you have a name for it? Can we?
We don't have the name yet.
Yeah.
That's on the to-do list.
Yeah. Last year's was Delco Horror Haven Hash. And it was a chocolate ice cream with marshmallow fluff, and I think it had like walnuts or something in it, and sprinkles. We had sprinkles.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it should be a really fun day. Free mom hugs will be there, giving out hugs to people who want them. So
that's sweet.
It's all volunteer run. We have a great group of volunteers who help us. Everything we do is volunteer run.
Nice.
So it should be a lot of fun. And we
have a kids corner.
We have a kids corner. We'll have some crafts and coloring to keep kids busy. Like I said, we have some authors, but it's primarily vendors.
So when you're doing this, though, I'm guessing with it being, and it's in the townhouse, you said, right?
No, the vendor day is at the community center. So on Saturday. Saturday is the community center. Sunday is at the townhouse, which is a restaurant. So the film festival is like a movie tavern style. You can come in, you can order your food and drink, not included in ticket price, and and get a signature drink, not included in ticket price, and watch the films. It's like an all-day experience. If you've ever been to a movie tavern, it's a lot of fun.
I love that.
And then Saturday is at the community center. Media has a really nice community center, has its own parking lot. So there's a playground outside. So if it, like we said, it is family friendly. We'll have a kids corner. If your kids get a little antsy, you can take them out, let them swing on swings, play on the monkey bars while you shop.
To being able to do that much and have people come out, what made you split it into 2 days? Was it the dates that you could get for each location, or is it something you had planned on?
It's because it's grown. So to have the film festival at night after having the vendor market all day, it's a lot. And we're all volunteer, and we're not a big group. So it's a long day. So when we were able to split it up, and the community center is fantastic, and I've seen films there before and everything, but it's logistically it's a little bit hard.
Mhm.
Now, out of the
Mhm.
28 films, are any features? I just
No,
want
we do all shorts, and
shorts.
they're all
Yeah, we
30
do all
under
shorts.
30 minutes or less.
Okay, that's a pretty good
So
lineup then. And to add the 28, and so this goes on Sunday the 28th. So you guys know it's noon to 8:30 p.m. at the Townhouse. And you're doing so you will still have the same special guests, delicious food that is there at the Townhouse available for you. And then over at the Media Center is noon to 6 p.m. on the 27th on Saturday. I want to make sure I get those dates right and get everything out there.
thank
If you want your ice cream, you got to go Saturday.
That's Saturday.
You want the awesome food and movies and drinks, you got to go on Sunday. I love that though. So coming into this one now, how old is Delco Horror Haven now? How many years have you been doing it?
January 2024 last year, so just almost 2 years.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
I mean, last year we did, I think, 24 or 25 events.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we were nuts last year. I look back last year at different things like personal stuff, and it was just a mess. And I said, as we started this year, I'm like, all right, listen, we got to cut it back a little bit. Like, my life was a mess. So,
I get that.
but it seems to be really gearing up now because we have a lot of events now through the end of the year that just kind of popped up, some of them. For example, on Monday, we're going to be at the local theater. It's called the Media Theater. They're doing a screening of Ghostbusters, and they asked us if we wanted to, spread our magic. And we're like, hey, we're always ready to spread magic. So we're going to do that. And then we obviously have this weekend, and it's in a couple weeks. And then in October, well, the other film festival that you were talking about, we were asked to curate the horror block for that. And so that's when we came up with the best of the fest from last year's festival that we had.
Nice.
So that's something new and exciting that we're looking forward to.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So now you 501c3, you are you have your big event, your second one coming up. Where do you see Delco Horror Haven growing into going forward?
Oh, well, we have lots of dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams are okay.
Like eventually we'll have a brick and mortar of our own, but
Love it.
that is truly a dream at this
Yeah.
point. I think right now it's just we're trying to get sponsors because right now we survive strictly on ticket sales. I mean, we have a lot of in-kind sponsors, which we're truly grateful for. They do our programs, our flyers, the photographer that'll be there at the film festival. And then we have a few that are, financial sponsors for us that are very helpful. But we're hoping that maybe people, and Mick, you can understand this. When you say horror, people there's still that unfortunate feel that people just kind of, it's
absolutely.
nothing.
In fact, when people do that, I often scowl at them and tell them what's wrong with you.
Yeah. And, the more we talk about it and the more we show the various events that we have, I think people understand it. It really is a legitimate form of not just entertainment, but of art. And so I think with the 501c3 behind us, I think maybe people might realize that we're very serious about this. This is not just, a cute little thing that we're doing. We're really passionate about it.
Oh, I knew that from the last time you were on the show. Yeah, for sure. So when you came back with Delco, and I follow you guys were friends on Facebook and such, so I've been seeing the posts. I'm glad to learn more about it, and I'm glad you guys are still doing this because it is important. I do know horror film festivals exist, people, but go to them. It's worth it. If you're a horror fan, you're going to see some really cool stuff there. And let's be real, most of the stuff that we see that we love is independent.
Yeah.
So why not go check out some future filmmakers they're going to come out with features eventually. Go check out their shorts now and see what the talent is at.
Yeah.
I love it. What would you say is some of your bigger challenges putting together this year's festival versus past years? I know this one's the second year, but you've worked on it.
Really, it's the three of us. So we have a third member, Tammy McClellan. So it's the three of us that are the board members. So we really do everything pretty much from A to Z. Now, fortunately, we do have other people that help us. Claude is our AV guy. He's phenomenal with everything, with putting the actual films together, and
He did the
speakers,
trailer.
mics, all that
The
stuff.
trailer.
He did the trailer. Yeah. We were really excited about that. We just got that on Monday. And then we have, another person, Jeff, who helped view the films and jury the films with us. And then we have other people that we know that are just wonderful, wonderful friends and,
Supporters.
colleagues that can come out and they just support us. So I think it's just three of us. I think that's the biggest challenge all the time, trying to do everything. And we all have full-time jobs, so time. I think just time.
And I appreciate the any type of dedication, because I know film festivals are hard to put together, and I won't do it. You want me to judge and host? Fine, cool, but I'm not doing it. It takes really special people who love the craft and doing that stuff. So I appreciate that as a movie fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to ask, I know we were talking about it's short films, but do you see in the future maybe also adding features if the venues were to change that could allow for that?
Well, we do pop up. So if filmmaker comes to us or we find one and they have a feature length, we'll do a pop-up event for them. And so we have the film festival, but then throughout the year we also do feature length films.
I
So
love that. I didn't know that.
yeah, the
We'll
first
do double
one,
features.
yeah, we'll do double features. So we did a few last year. I think we did 4 or 5.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that. That's so cool.
It can give them too a little bit of, they can have kind of their time to shine.
Yeah.
And show their film and people can see it, and it keeps the film festival manageable for us.
Yeah,
Because again, like Karen was saying, time is the big thing. I mean, we have 5.5 hours of films. We could easily have 2 days just of films.
Yeah.
But getting, like you were talking about, getting people to events is really, really difficult. Everybody says they want independent film. Everybody says they want to come to stuff. Please show up. It matters. It matters to the filmmakers. It matters to the vendors. It means the world to us when you show up to our events, because that's what we're doing it for. We're doing it because we love it, and we know there's people who love it, and it gives you a chance in your community where you don't have to travel. If you want this experience, you can have it right in your community. And there's where we're at has a very vibrant horror community, and goth, and it's a really great group of people. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring great art to the community.
And I appreciate you saying that, because it's so important. And I want to, if I can, to all the people watching or listening, just sort of give my spiel on that. Not so much a spiel as more of a passion. Do it because it's worth it. If you're a horror fan, or even you can expand this to if it's a comedy festival, things like that. But I'm sticking in the horror right now. If you're a horror fan, like so many of us are out there, go to these events. Go to them, even if maybe you're I'm not really into short films. I've met people who are like that, and then they watch them, and then they're like, okay, I'm in now. So that's always happened. Just for anybody who's well, I'm not really into short films. I've always seen people check out short films or really give them a try at a festival, and then they're kind of into it. So I love that. Go because it's the horror community. Meet people. Become part of it. Who knows? Help volunteer over at Delco. Things like that. You are going to be, it's more rewarding going to these festivals, even if you're kind of a movie fan or kind of a horror fan or whatever. Go because you never know what you'll be exposed or open up to. And it's generally always, in my opinion and my experience, been rewarding. is what I'll say. It's fun, of course. It's all those things, but rewarding. I met a lot of great friends at different festivals and such. So
Bravo. Everything you just said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's true. And I have to say too, like, since we started Delco Horror Haven, it's kind of funny. It's like the 6 degrees of separation. You start working with one filmmaker, and then they know the other one, and then this one. It's this big community that we didn't even really know about because we weren't really tapped into it for ourselves prior to that. And now it's really cool. We get to work with so many different people and get asked to go to their different events too. Like we did this Disco of the Dead like a month or so ago. Deadsville, Ronin, Steph Infection. It was at Bar 13 in Delaware. So we called it our road trip because we're in PA. We're like, 15 minutes away. It's not far. But, they asked us to be a vendor there. So like, it's kind of cool that you develop these really good collaborations and friendships and relationships with people that are like-minded.
And even to add to that for all of you out there, just to give a personal experience, because I really want people to get out and be a part of the community vibe of it, especially not just supporting the movies and such, which is important. Keep that in mind. But little story, I went to a film festival, I would say it's about 14 years ago or so. I just started podcasting. I was still doing the filmmaking full time at the time. And we went to cover, I was working for a site called Mario Likes Movies, and I was on his podcast and writing for his site and such. So we got invited to Trauma Dance. Now, Trauma Dance back then was a popular thing amongst Trauma fans. But people don't really know what podcasting was. There wasn't a billion podcasters everywhere. So Uncle Lloyd understood when we talked to him. And he was like, yeah, come on down. I think that's great. So let's cover the whole thing. And he was so rewarding to us and such. Though we met 2 filmmakers there who by that point were generating a bit of popularity. And now I understand they had been around for a while, but I'm talking about as directors really building up. And that was James Gunn and Ty West.
Wow.
Yes, Ty West. I do remember.
I do. Yeah, I do. I remember talking to him, and it was just one of those things where it's like, if I wasn't there to do it, because I'm not a huge Trauma fan. I like Trauma movies. I like my certain ones. But like going there, it's different. It's this whole culture. It's this whole vibe. So I may not fully be into Trauma, but I love Trauma Dance. And I have ever since because it's such a great time. And that's what I mean by this is like, go to these festivals. You never know what filmmakers I did not wear this on purpose. I wore this because I love the movie and I love Superman. And James Gunn is now running DC.
Yeah.
So like you never know who you're gonna meet, talk to, get out of these filmmakers and such, and it's worth it. It's rewarding to learn a lot, especially if you love movies. So I just wanted to make another.
I was just going to say, even with the press release that we did, we noted in there that it's a great networking event, whether you're in front of the camera or behind the camera, because you're going to be meeting other people that are actors, actresses, filmmakers, cinematographers. You're going to meet all these different people. And I'm not just talking about our film festival, any film festival. They're great networking events for you too, to get into the business.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Talk to them, PA on their stuff, but like, you're not going to, this is the time. The film festivals are the time to talk to them. You think the conventions are, but they're really not. And you think that it's, or, maybe like trying to reach out to them. You want to get like, go to the film festivals, meet the filmmakers, become friends with them. So I love that you said that, because that is such an important part of it all. But I wish you guys the best. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. 28 films, 2 days, whole lot of vendors, fun, good, exciting times, and you're going to have a great time. So before we move on, we're going to do, I asked you guys for some movie recommendations. Before we get to that, I just want to ask, is there any final thoughts you want to give about Delco Horror Haven, especially the invasion and
I think we covered the invasion pretty well, but I will say one thing. We also have another signature event called Krampus Fest. I don't know if you know who Krampus is, but Krampus Fest is very popular. It usually sells out. And so once we're done Invasion, I mean, we have other events. We probably have another 5 different events before we get to December.
Mhm.
But Krampus Fest will be the next biggie.
I love it. Krampus Fest is a terrifying event, but every time I bring my kids to it, they won't take them. I don't know. I love that though. That's fantastic. And please send me the stuff for that so I can share it out as it gets closer.
Thanks.
I asked you guys for some movie recommendations. Now, it didn't have to be horror. I don't know what you chose. I like to be surprised, but it's for me and the audience to check out, especially this Halloween season. What do you got for me? Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Karen.
Okay. So, I mean, I stuck with pretty much all horror. I was trying to think of things that maybe aren't as well known, but I mean, I think, and I guess we're a little skewed because we feel like everybody knows these films, and I have to remember, like, not everybody are horror nerds like us, right? So they may not know some of these films. So I have a couple indies in here, then I have a couple that were a little bit bigger. So Frailty.
That's a good one.
I think that's just so, you don't really read about it often, and I think people need to see it. I didn't realize Bill Paxton was the director too. I just knew he started, but I didn't realize he was the director. That movie was so frightening and creepy because it felt like it could happen. You know what I mean? It was such a good movie. I don't see it on many lists. So if you don't know it, I would highly recommend watching that one. And another one that was like a big one, well, maybe not big, but like not indie, was Bug from 2006. William Friedkin was the filmmaker on that. And again, like it's been so long since I watched it, but I remember that mirror scene when, I'm not going to go into details, but like I was like, this is so good. Don't ever really see it anywhere. So there's some of the bigger ones that I think people may know about, but maybe some people don't. And then I try to get some of the older ones and some indie ones. So I have Alice, Sweet Alice, because I watched that when I was younger and I loved it. And I remember Lisa never saw it until last year. We watched it. Yeah. I'm like, oh, we got to watch it. Like, you got to watch it. So, and then Piggy from 2022. I don't know if have you seen that one?
Okay. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
That one is Carlotta Martinez Parita is the filmmaker. I mean, talk about a bullying situation turned upside down. It's total flip for me. I wasn't expecting what happened at the end. So highly recommend that. And then a true indie, and then I'm done, is Depraved. Have you seen that one, Nick?
I don't know Depraved.
So Depraved is kind of like a modern version of Frankenstein. Larry Fessenden, I can never pronounce his last name. Anyway, a friend of ours, Brian Spears, worked on that with the I can't talk now, FX. Anyway, it's set in Brooklyn, and it's a guy who's suffering from PTSD. And I thought it was a really cool modern version, and it's truly an indie film. So if you like Frankenstein, you like a good indie feature, I would recommend that one.
I am going to see it. I love all these. And Lisa, what you got for me? I know you got some up your sleeve for me.
Yeah, so I went with a couple different genres, and pretty much everybody knows all of them. So I went with comedy. I went with Slapshot. It's coming up on hockey season. You got to watch Slapshot. So I like to watch films seasonally, and I'll have like my hockey season, so I have to watch that. So beginning of summer, I always have to watch Rear Window. Hitchcock, it's my favorite Hitchcock. It's just everything about that movie is just fantastic. Yeah. And I think I saw the remake with Christopher Reeves, but it does not compare to the original.
It's not, they're so special about that movie.
Yes, and it's so like for its time, it's a little controversial because you have Grace Kelly. She's spending the night at her boyfriend's house,
Yeah.
And they're not engaged, they're not married, anything. She's showing him her little clothes, and he's peeping on the neighbors. There's a lot of good, witty back and forth banter. It's one of my favorite movies.
Great movie.
And then I went with, the classics for the horror season, Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Have to watch Halloween every
All-time
year.
favorite.
I'll probably watch it at least 3 more times before the holiday.
I love it. Which before we move on from Halloween, what is your favorite timeline in the Halloween series? They go to like 7 different ones.
Yeah. The original, definitely. And I like H2O.
Okay.
And I like the 2018 version of Halloween. I thought that was really well done. It completely skipped over H2O, but that's okay. It's a multiverse.
Yeah, I know. God, the multiverse is back. I love those choices. Those are fantastic. Halloween is definitely a must every year.
Awesome.
They have a big box set coming out soon too. So keep an eye out.
Oh.
I think it's a pumpkin.
I
think it comes in a pumpkin.
Very cool.
Check that one out. I'll try and see if I can find it, but I know it's coming soon. But thank you so much, ladies, for coming on, talking about Delco Horror Haven and the invasion. I'm super stoked for it, and I cannot wait to hear about, see what's going on with it, and I know it's going to be a hit. You put your passion and love into it.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you having us on to talk about it. It means a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But let me know when there's other events coming up too. I'm always happy to promote.
You opened the door, Mick.
Hey, it's your second time back. Now you're getting used to it.
Watch out.
But I'm going to let you go for the evening. I want to say thank you again for jumping on, talking to me about Delco, and just having a really great time. Having a great time. That's what we'll go with that. But thank you again, Lisa and Karen. You guys are awesome, and everything is down below. Go check out the links. Go follow. Make sure that you're following all over social media. Make sure that you are there because it's going to be fun. But
thank you.
Have a good night, ladies. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, guys. I'm excited. That sounds awesome. I love film festivals. Like, there's just something about being like, I was being very serious when I was saying to everybody before, like, if you can go to film festivals, if you just even kind of like movies, I think you're always going to find something you really enjoy there. This is like beautiful feel of a collected a slate of people who are just love the same things you love, and that's always a good feeling. So why not go check out horror at Delco Horror Haven Invasion coming up on the 27th and 28th. Make sure to be there for that. I'm super stoked. Thank you guys so much for joining in. We're on to our final segments for the evening. This normally it's mixed movie picks. Sturdy picked these movies for the next 2 months from this year, from the year 1990 and 1994. So as you know, all of our Does It Sucks and our classic film reviews end up being our picks each week on the show. So next week, you'll be able to see on Tuesday, Baby Blood. It's a French horror film. It is a lot. I was talking about how brutal The Long Walk was earlier. That was brutal in the sense that, like, it's very real. Like, we see this every day, this type of violence that, unfortunately, to keep a good head on our shoulders, we sort of become complacent. I hate to say that, but we have. And there's in that movie really shines a light on that and sticks it in your face. Baby Blood just shoves all of the most disgusting things it can in your face, and it's wonderful. It's a weird, crazy movie with some very real guttural themes in it that I think are important. The French do that very, very well, but they're very, very brutal. This movie's special effects are very interesting. I know I'm saying a lot, but they are. They're very interesting. They're very well done. I enjoyed this a lot. But it is one that is not for the faint of heart. If you don't like gore, I don't think you'd like this movie. Now, however, my classic film review for the week, 1994, is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's an amazing horror film. It can get dark at times. It's In the Mouth of Madness. It was directed by John Carpenter as part of his Apocalypse trilogy, which is made up of The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and this movie. It is very much a story that follows this insurance adjuster who's searching for this horror author who is based on Stephen King, Clive Barker, things like that. Like he's a representation of them. And his stories are starting to become real, and they're starting to take over this insurance adjuster's whole life. His whole reality is bending around these stories and such. It is phenomenal. I think that movie, both these movies are really well done. Again, Baby Blood will probably be a bit much if you're not into the gore scene. In the Mouth of Madness, though, you're going to be blown away. You are going to absolutely love it. And of course, next Tuesday will be our Does It Suck of Baby Blood. Go check that out. And then our classic film review next Friday, In the Mouth of Madness. And this is that's what this is. This is our picks, and Sturdy supplied them with them. Thank you, Sir Sturdy over at Sturdivision. We appreciate you. These are some fantastic picks for these 2 months of Snobtober. We just are having a great time watching them. So be sure to check back each week. We'll talk about them here. But on the Scene Snobs YouTube channel, that's where everything comes out. We have content every day, so go back, check it out. We have a whole bunch of reviews that came out this week that aren't on this show. You can go check out. And then we have way more coming out. So, but it's time for Film Definitions with Mick. As you guys know, I've talked about it in the past. I, was a filmmaker, still am, but not to the full time that I used to be. I got this book in college, not this exact book, just the book that is like, this is actually an older version, but it still holds up. So what I've been doing each week on the podcast is randomly picking out a different aspect of the film industry, filmmaking, film history that's all in this book and talking about it. You know what? Let's do this. I appreciate that. Just lost it. Why don't we do Film Festival for our good friends over at Delco Horror Haven? Why not? I have to find it though. Yeah, so I am in the film range, film time, filmic, film space. We'll get to all these eventually. Film aesthetics. Where's your film festival? There it is. There it is. Film festival. Let's read this, shall we? The screening of a number of films on successive days at a single location, not anymore, to award prizes in various categories and publicize new productions. In addition, non-competitive films, both old and new, may also be shown to distinguish significant achievements. 3 important film festivals in Europe are held in Cannes, Venice, and Berlin. In this country, the non-competitive is New York Film Festival. This is a dated book. Has achieved prominence. There are also festivals for various kinds of films. For example, the Annecy International Film Fest. Yeah, I might as well not read those because Yugoslavia is not a country anymore. So, guys, as you know, film festivals are important. They help build out the film industry and bring in new talent constantly, and it gives new talent a good shot at getting into the industry and being able to work and showcase their work. So always I appreciate film festivals for what they do. And that's my film review, or my film definition, I should say. An important thing I need to talk about: the Family Drive-In, Stevens City, Virginia. It's a beautiful place. They have 2 screens. They show tons of movies. This is what they were showing last week. I hope you guys can help out. We're going to be doing, this is the first time we're announcing this too, we're going to be doing a charity script read, which is, of course, part of our Casters for a Cause charity events and such. And all the proceeds, we're going to have it donated straight to Family Drive-In because it's important. The link's down below. You can donate now. What happened was the people that own the land that it's on want to sell the land. They're not very interested in keeping it. They're not very interested. There's like a real estate company that owns it. They're not interested in the business, even though it's been a fixture since 1956. It is so important to keep American traditions in this country alive. True, good-hearted, fantastic art, collaborative, creative, imaginative American traditions. And if there's anything that is an American tradition, it is cinema going, and especially the drive-in. I'm from New Jersey. They started in New Jersey, so they always have a special place in my heart. Well, everything started there, I guess. But I really want to help them. I want to do right by this film, this amazing drive-in that I've been going to for years now, not even a few, like more than a few. And I've seen the history, I've seen what they do, and they're always such a great place to go and visit and watch movies and hang out and get that feel of old Americana film watching, cinema watching. I love it. And I hope you guys can help out any way you can. They need to raise 1.5 million. They're at about 30 now, around there, maybe a little less, but we're trying to gun through, and I cannot wait to do our Casters for a Cause. We haven't picked the date yet. I'm waiting on one thing, but we are doing Lethal Weapon 2, and we have a great cast who's going to join in for it. So make sure you're there for it. But let's damn the man, save the drive-in, the family drive-in especially. But I want to say thank you guys for being a part of it. Before we go, it was kind of a crazy week. I don't generally get into too much that's too serious. You know, we try to have fun on here. Sometimes we get serious, but there is some devastating things that happened this week, and I need to talk about them. I think they need to be mentioned, but I think I want to do it in a careful, caring way, not a crappy way. One was the unfortunate school shooting in Colorado. You know, bringing awareness to this. I think talking about it and saying this happened helps people recognize it and maybe keep that awareness alive, so that way we can try and end this some way, shape, or form if we can, or at the very least help if we can in situations that happen like this. Another one with some very dark gun violence was there's a content creator, he's very influential, to say the least, Charlie Kirk. I am not going to sugarcoat it. I did not like him. He was a rage-baiting person. I don't hate him. And when I say I don't like him, it's not a matter of like, I didn't know who he was in life, but I know what he said, and I know what influence he had on a lot of people. And the rage baiting like that, and it doesn't just happen on one side, everybody. It happens all over. I see it everywhere. And being a content creator, I've been getting really angry lately with the amount of just the vitriol that seems to be coming out. And it's been making me angry. It's been affecting me. I can't even imagine what it's been doing to everybody else. And because I try to stay away from that stuff when I can. But I couldn't. With this one, regardless of whether I liked him or not, he was a fellow content creator, and that's something we all do. And he was good at his job. He was very successful in what he set out to do. Why do I bring this up? Here at the Scene Snobs, we don't like the rage baiting thing. I know plenty of grifters on this platform and in the podcasting world who just want to sell you something. They want to hate on things so that way they can be controversial. They want to twist things so that way you feel something, but it's not something that's good for you. Or sometimes maybe you agree and it is good for you. I guess. I don't know. I still don't think when anything comes down to ugliness or rage is a good thing. I started this 6 years ago. It's going to be our anniversary on October 6th. I started the Scene Snobs writing for the Scene Snobs in 2013, but this podcast, after I left Mystery Elephant, I created this because I wanted to do something that was positive. I wanted to do something that helped, but also something I knew when we were talking about it. And I know movies. Like, I'm not a politician. I'm not a civics major. I don't know any of that stuff. I'm just a guy who in his life has been an asshole before. And I'm saying this for the realization of, I know I've been an asshole. And wearing this shirt is kismet because I did not plan on wearing it again today, especially after what happened earlier, talking about James Gunn. But I believe in hope. I believe in caring, friendship, kindness. And I've been an asshole before, like I said. Like, that's nothing. And the people know we all are. We all do asshole things. But I think it's important to remember, just because maybe you've been an asshole, maybe you've done some things that, like, you're not proud of, or even hurt other people, you can come back from it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard, and it should be hard, because when you do things like that, or you spread ugliness and things like that, it's hard to come back. But you put one foot in front of the other and you keep going. I am not a flawless human being, and I use myself as an example because I don't want to call anybody else out, but I'm not a flawless human being. I know that. I've made mistakes. I've screwed up. I've done things that I'm not proud of, and like all of you. And I think there's a lot of rage inside of people because I feel like they fear if they announce, like, I've done shitty things before, so that they're going to be looked at as a shitty person. And maybe you will. I was. But you do what you can to keep moving forward and spreading goodness and spreading kindness and spreading love, and stop being cynical and stop being hard and stop like trying to bring rage to the discussion. I realize that I'm no authority on any of this, and I'm not important in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not trying to be. But it's hard, but it's worth it. Every single day I have to ask myself, what's the right thing to do? And I'm not always getting it right, but then I just readjust and I keep trying to do the right thing. Be the example. Go out there, just put one foot in front of the other. And when it comes down to it and you see this thing that's easy, you can say something ugly, or you can do something stupid, or you can hurt somebody, or you can do something, you could just do wrong. Remember, it may be harder, but it's more rewarding. Your life will be better. You'll be a better person, and hopefully the world will become better too. I realize that, again, this probably isn't getting through because who am I? But I hope, if anything, if anybody hears this, all that ugliness, we can leave it behind. And we can walk forward, and maybe sometimes there's consequences. Maybe there's something, but get through them and keep going. Put one foot in front of the other. And as you do that, your journey every day to be a good person, that journey every single day, when you take that and you make those decisions, and even when you screw up and then you go back and you say, I got to make the right decision, you're doing yourself the best service you could ever do. You're doing yourself and the people around you the best service you could ever do. Love the people you're with. Love your partner. Love your kids. Love your friends. Just don't ever turn towards hate or disgust or rage or meanness. And just, it's never a path you want to go down. And I've learned that firsthand many, many times. And I hope if this message helps anyone, I appreciate you. I love you. I forgive you. Just please take that and walk the good road. We'll go with the long walk metaphor, but not that long walk. That's a different type of walk you don't want to be on. Walk the good road, take those steps, do the right thing, and it will reward you. That's all I got for tonight. I want to say thank you guys. Thank you to Karen and Lisa from Delco Horror Haven for being here. I had such a great time. Thank you guys for listening, being a part of it, hanging out with us. And just take care of yourselves. Remember, stay snobby, stay classy. Make sure your mental health is prioritized. It's important. I want to stress that right now. It's a tough time, and everything can affect people in weird ways. Prioritize your mental health. But until next time, everybody, remember, be kind and rewind, and I will talk to you soon.